Hello, guys. Good day, good afternoon. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Yeah, today I'm featuring my sister on this very, very beautiful channel. My sister is here, and we are talking about something really interesting and educative. We're talking about marriage life and family life.
Okay.
I'm sure there's one or two things that you can, learn from what we're about to do today. So, can you kindly introduce yourself? Okay, but before she does that, I want to say thank you so much for your continuous support.
Thank you.
Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for commenting. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. Sorry for my little hiatus. I'm back and better. So tell us about yourself briefly.
Okay, my name is Bimi, and my sister, her elder sister, obviously.
Which one be obvious?
Well, I have experience. I've been married for about a year plus,
About a year, be almost 2 years.
almost 2 years. I've been married for over a year. That's surprising.
Okay. Thank you for grazing our channel. So I'm going to I had to write some questions down because I didn't want to um forget very important things that I would love to ask. So it's going to be as brief as possible.
Okay.
So we are going to talk about marriage life, like I said, and family life. Um okay. So I'm going to start with the biggest myths about married life. Like
Biggest
I'm going
myth.
to ask questions. So we're going to start with the biggest myth about married life. So the first question I have here says, what shocked you the most after getting married? What came as a shocker for you based on your personal experience?
What came as a shocker for me, I think, was the realization that I'm actually married. It felt like,
Use your mic. I don't
yeah,
know.
it's on. It's working. I'm using it.
Go ahead.
I think for me it was the realization that okay, this thing is actually real. And I think that happened the day we were traveling back after the wedding. And my husband, we went to the park and we had boarded the car and all that. So and we put our boxes in the car and it was time to go and it just felt strange that oh my
Where are
god,
we
I'm
going?
just traveling with this strange man that I met how many
A
years
strange
ago.
man that you met for how many years and you've known for how many
Yes,
years?
but it still felt strange. I'm leaving my father's house. I'm leaving my sisters behind. I'm leaving my brothers behind. I'm leaving everybody behind. I'm just following one stranger to relocate to an entirely different location. So it felt that was when the realization dawned. So to me, I think that was one of the shocker moments for me.
Okay, thank you. The next question I have here is we want to talk about marriage roles versus reality.
Okay.
The reality. Now we're not even talking about what people think. Your
Mhm.
reality, because marriage is about reality. A lot of people just come and be babbing us and be giving us obo, and we know what
Yes.
is really really going on. So what do you think? Should a husband and wife have like fixed roles in marriage? What do you
Now,
think about roles?
you said something about reality. So I'm going to be as real can be, especially in my own experience anyways, because every marriage is unique in its own way. And like I always say, every marriage is like a canvas given to you. When you get married, I always say that every marriage is unique in its own way, and it's just as if a marriage to anybody is like a canvas. It's just as if you've been given an empty canvas, you and your partner. Paint whatever you want to paint whatever you like, paint the number of children you like, paint the number of where you want to live, paint the standard of living you want to have, paint the quality of life, paint whatever, paint compassion, paint love, paint if you like, paint fights,
And your
it's
paint.
just now you sabi, so you live with your painting. So that's how I view marriage. Marriage is something that is individual and is personal to each partners, each group of people. So when it comes to rule and this issue of duties in the home, I think me being realistic is that in every marriage between a man and a woman, considering the fact that every marriage is unique, please always know that this is my own experience. Okay, from my own experience, Rules, everybody have their rules. In my house, everybody have their rules. There was something that my husband used to do when we were single, and that's to tell you that they used to say you're not married until you're married. It's true. If you marry, your eye will clear. Reality will choke you. Like,
Go wear
well,
you
I'm
glass.
serious. When we were dating then in the university and all that, you used to cook. It was very nice. You cook, you cook. Like I remember the dishes you used to cook. Sometimes you make spaghetti and chicken. Even in the university, and used to help
So it
out.
was very nice. It's not nice again.
He's nice, very nice man. You know him now. But the moment you got married, Oga refused to enter kitchen. I will beg, I will cry. Beg back then when the marriage was still early. Even before I got married, all the counseling we did, personal conversations, babe. We cannot do a marriage where I will be cooking alone and you'll be making money alone. We have to help each other. You say yes.
I believe in
He will always say I believe in 50-50. I believe that will I use stress and kill my wife? After
it. Come on,
marriage,
Jay.
Oga no gree. I will cry. I will say, babe, I want to make soup. Okay, you come and be helping me to wash the meat. Let me be boiling the rice. Oga say, I'm busy. I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming. Now I'm coming. I go here until evening go reach. I have to just maintain myself. Now I'm not saying that my partner is not empathetic or is not nice or is not kind or is not helpful. But the truth is that in marriage, the reality, make I no cap you. In the reality is that in marriage, once a man sees that a woman is available to do house chores, to cook, he becomes automatically lazy. And I think in a way it's kind of normal in quotes.
What do you mean available if she doesn't have a job?
Thank
Because you
you.
work now.
Of course I work. This is how it is. Before let me try and explain it, break it down further. This is how it is. When I was living alone, or before I got married, when I was 7, if lights finish, I know nobody's coming to save me. Nobody's coming to buy it for me. I will buy the one I can. If it's 1,000 naira, I can buy. I will buy and rest. Is that not so? Yes. If DSTV finish, if I can do DSTV, I do. If it's 151, I can do. I do. But when I got married, if DSTV finish, I know they do. I will call my oga. Hello, babe. DSTV subscription don't finish. I beg. Help us do them. If we do it. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. There's this kind of relaxation
about bills.
about bills that I have now. I know the stress. I know say anything cooking. I enter kitchen and cook the one I can cook and rest. If I cannot cook, I tell him let's go and eat out. You know. But when you know that the person that is capable of doing that thing is available, there's this laziness that will just fall upon you naturally. That's how I see it. That's the truth. And I've accepted my fate that okay, if it's kitchen work, I carry my cross, I cook my thing. I know they fight again, and it has made life easy for. So that has really helped. So it's just not like I don't know, Shy. Let me not say it's just normal because to some people this thing I'm saying now, makes sense and it may sound ridiculous. It feels like slavery. I'm not
Until
slaving
you enter marriage
until
and
you
you see
enter. So,
say
in my own opinion, being realistic is knowing that there are gender roles in every marriage. Like I also said, every marriage is also unique. In your own family, in your own marriage, you can be that it's the man that cooks and you are the one that shoulders a majority of the bills. That is also okay. Everybody is giving their own
so in your
canvas.
marriage now you are the one
So
that
in
does
my
the
own
cooking.
marriage, na me dey cook. My husband, na him dey shoulder responsibility, anything bills. Like and me in fact, but in fact, it's so worse that sometimes if he's not around, I will call him, hello babe. I'm just watching Netflix now. Data don't finish. I beg recharge the my if I say, babe, you cannot just do 2 gig before I'll say I cannot do 2 gig before you come. Please do it. It's your what? It's your responsibility. Because if it's me too, if I call you and say if you can call me from work and say, babe, there's no food in the cooler you left for work. What's the plan? I'll tell you. I already left the food in the microwave. Or I already left the food in the freezer. Just open the freezer.
Are you
So
sure these microphones are working? Yours is working.
it is mine is
My own
working.
is not.
So for me, gender roles, and for a Christian, and for me as a Christian, I think that also defined it for me from the fact that from the perspective that I know that in the Bible defines roles for both partners. That's the truth. It talks about when you see Sarah, when you see Abraham, when you talk about you look at examples of families in the Bible, there were definite roles. Women are to nurture the children, nurture the home,
Okay.
cater to the family,
Thank
and
you.
the men are supposed to, pay the bills and provide and all that. So
Okay. Do you think that how are you able to balance work life and family and marriage, career?
Hmm.
Do you think that okay, I don't want to say do you think that women should work, but do you think that if okay, why are you still working if your husband shoulders
A
all your
majority of
responsibilities? I don't know, but
yeah,
like how do you balance your career, and
that's a
what do you
valid.
think about working? And
I think that's
do
a
you think like a woman can sit down and just be a fine girl while the husband should
of
work?
course,
And how do you balance your
yeah.
career
I
with
think that's a very valid question to ask if women can sit at home since their husband shoulder most of the responsibility. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I
it's
don't
like
do
this mic has
that.
died?
Okay.
Go on.
I don't do that, but
Yes.
I don't judge anybody that does. What I mean by that is that I work. I have a 9 to 5, and my reason for working is because I like to work. I get bored just staying at home pressing phone. I get bored. I've tried it before, and I was bored. I was cranky. I was becoming, So I like to work. Let me leave the house in the morning. Let me not see your face till about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. When I come again, I hug you. I see you. We enjoy ourselves. See you tomorrow again. So
What do you
for
mean by
me,
enjoy it?
uh,
Go on.
so for me, I think both ways they are valid. If a woman decides that she doesn't want to work because she wants to cater to her family, she wants to cater to her children, she wants to take care of the home, 100% valid. As far as your partner doesn't have a problem with it and you are comfortable doing it, and nobody is coercing you to do it, beautiful idea. For me personally, I like to work. I like to leave the house. I like to be occupied with something. And the truth is that my major responsibility for working is not because I'm keeping to the business. My money is my money. In my own marriage, like I said, my money is my money. My salary is my money to spend. I work for my salary. I spend it as I like. I buy the things that I like. Yes, I use it to buy clothes, buy all the things I like, fancy things, send to the people I want to send to, cater to some personal responsibilities I have. I'm not using my money to cater to the family. That is my own marriage. That is my own circumstances. That is
Okay.
my own situation. So yeah.
Okay. Okay. The next question I want to ask is: do you think that love alone is enough to keep a marriage alive? Easy one for me.
um
Ah.
Never has it can never be enough. It is never enough.
Ah.
Love. You don't get love, you will forget that you love the person. When responsibility choke you, when reality choke you, you forget.
But in that, in your marriage case, which responsibility is choking? Okay, cooking and chores, abi?
Yes,
Because if it's about bills,
it's
not
not
choking.
bills, but chores and all. But the truth is that love is not enough to sustain any marriage. Love is supposed to be the bedrock, it's the basis. But other realities are very, very important. Empathy, um, genuine concern, compassion, forgiveness. You see, this forgiveness, they used to emphasize it, they cannot emphasize it enough. See, this forgiveness it's like after love, self, the next thing you should hold with you should grab is
It's
forgiveness. Because like you'll be offended, like they'll push you to your limits. Like this person that you claim to love will push you, like you will look at yourself and say, how did I get entangled with this human being? How did I who sent me on this journey? I'm serious, like it's that crazy sometimes. But when you forgive again, you will forget it. That
But some people
yesterday you
forgive,
were
but they
this.
don't forget.
Well, you are setting yourself up to be a killer because you will end up killing yourselves. That's the truth. Either you poison the person or the person will poison you, or you poison yourself together. Because if you don't forgive and forget, you will just be living with so much,
Content.
what's the word now?
Hate.
Yes, resent. You'll be living with so much resentment. You'll be carrying resentment about, and that you see that resentment is the beginning of failure. It's the beginning of people stabbing themselves in marriage. It's the beginning of husband poisoning wife. And because like marriage will test you, honestly, you'll be pushed beyond your limits when it comes to offense. Your partner will unconsciously, sometimes they will offend you, they will not know that what they did pain you like that. You too, unconsciously, you will offend them, and the thing will cut deep.
It's a two-way
But the
street.
ability to forgive them and say, this man, wetin you do, e really pain me, but what choice do I have? You forgive again. You start liking again. You be loving yourself again,
Okay, okay.
until the next
Thank you.
offense
We don't have
again, and then
time. Thank you. The next one I want to ask is how involved should in-laws be in a marriage? And how do you handle toxic in-law dynamics?
for me, I think that issue of in-laws should be should be resolved before marriage. This is what I mean. Before I got married, and one of the things that helped me in my marriage, I think I learned that from my pastor, and it really, really helps. It really, really helps in my marriage. Is the fact that before you get married, what is your do you have boundaries with your parents? Do you have boundaries? Like, have you caught your parents that warning that, mommy, this is what you can do in my life, this is what you cannot do in my, like, even in your own personal life, have you caught that boundary that your parents cannot, your mommy cannot just call you and say, oh yeah, where are you, be coming to Abuja now? Have you given them clear cut warning, like clear cut boundaries that they know that, okay, with this my child, as much as I love this child, oh, I can't cross this boundary? When you have put necessary boundaries in place, when your partner comes in, your parents are bound to respect the boundaries that you've already put in place. But if you don't have any boundaries, anything goes. Your mommy can just come from nowhere and come to your house and say, I'm cooking for my son the next 15 days, I'm sleeping over, and no game. Definitely, when your wife comes, she will continue that habit. So yes,
why you not
and
marry yourself?
Abby, you understand. So for me, how I manage toxic in-laws, and the truth is that, and for me, to be very realistic, I've not even had to have any issues of toxic in-law relationship, because my in-laws are lovable people, and the fact that my husband already set a standard boundary in place before he got married, and I also did the same thing with my dad and my
Which
parents and
boundary
my
did you give to
family
them?
before getting married. My dad does not interfere necessarily in my
Which what
life.
do you do to? Is it you that
No,
is it your doing?
my person. There were times when my maybe issues with my dad. I even remember there was a discussion I had with my dad then, but way early when my husband was dating, and I told my dad, I like this guy, I might eventually get married to him. My dad said, ah, you can't marry him, it's not Yoruba. I told my dad there and then, I said, Daddy, if I want to marry him, there is nothing you or anybody can do about it. I told him clear cut. He was shocked. And that already gave him that, that way or more, you go dictate who this one will marry you. So that's like an example of what I mean. So if you are firm with your parents, if you already have that boundary around you, when they know that this one am my pikin, but if you no go agree this one, you no go agree, definitely they will not bring it close to you after marriage, or even bring it to your partner, because they know that you will definitely not stand for it.
Okay, lastly, we have other questions, but because of time, I don't want to get to be too long.
Yeah, sure.
Already, it's even getting late.
Yeah.
The last one I want to talk about um what do you intra-tribal marriage? What is it for you? Like now that you are married to somebody who is not the same tribe as you,
Okay.
what did you see that are the difference? Are there any
Yeah,
difference?
there's no difference for me in my own marriage, because my marriage is peculiar. My husband does not speak his language as much as I would have loved him to. He doesn't speak his dialect because his parents also had an intertribal marriage. My husband is from Akwa Ibom State and I'm from Ondo State. So my husband doesn't, he's an Ibibio man, but he doesn't speak Ibibio. So I even have a knowledge of the language more than him. So yeah, because I love languages and I get to do lots of research. And so I see even sometimes he will ask me, babe, I bet what's the meaning of this thing for our language? I was just look at him and shake my head like, so, but he speaks Yoruba because his mom is Yoruba. His mom is Yoruba. So he speaks, so basically in my house, the language is Pidgin. General language is Pidgin, and then there's Yoruba. So we communicate more in Yoruba and Pidgin. So for me, I think I like the diversity. As a child, I'd always liked the idea of intertribal marriage, because the intertribal marriages I saw around me, my pastor, and his wife. I remember Mrs. Ayeshoro and her husband. I saw.
I don't know about
No, they are both. Sorry, but I saw intertribal marriages around me, around my teachers, people in my church that worked, and it looked lovely from a distance. And unconsciously, somehow, I just made up my mind that I'm not going to marry a Yoruba person. I'm going to marry someone that is not my tribe, and I'm going to have a lovely marriage, and it worked for me. So basically, I don't think there's anything I'm missing out, because I love I love the BBO food. Like I cook afang. I love it so much. I cook white soup for my husband. I don't eat white soup. I don't like it, but I make it for him. I cook.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for sticking by up till this moment. I hope
Yeah.
we didn't bore you out. I hope it was
It
exciting
was worth
and
your while.
educative. Please comment in the comment section. Tell us what you think about the video. Did you enjoy it? Did you like it? What are you looking forward to? I'm with my sister for a while, so you might be seeing us a little bit more often. So thank you so much. See you next time. Bye.